Hey, before we begin today, I wanted to share with you that the Bodhi Inner Path Circle waitlist is now open. It is an improved version of my previous 4-week meditation circle for therapists that they would like something regular, something long-term and intimate. We all know the benefits of meditation practice, but in actual reality, finding time to practice from our busy daily lives can be challenging for all of us. It is a contemplative membership community for therapists who long for a steadier, more grounded way of being, a place to practice, to learn Buddha Dharma, to deepen your own practice, and to reconnect with your inner refuge alongside with your Dharma friends. If you've been craving depth, clarity, or Dharma companionship on your path, you're welcome to explore the details in the show notes. We're going to meet every fortnight on Fridays for an hour for meditation practice and Dharma reflective discussion in a book club format. We are going to start in July. There is a special founding member rate of just $55 per month if you register early. Please check it out. I hope to see you in there. Hey, welcome to the Practitioner's Heart, offering practical Buddhist wisdom for therapists and healthcare workers. If you are keen to deepen your practice beyond the theoretical understanding of Buddhism, if you are finding it hard to calm your little active mind after therapy work, I welcome you to join me to dive a little deeper. Each episode, I'll be sharing some common issues that therapists may face when integrating and practicing awareness, compassion within themselves and also supporting clients. I'll be sprinkling some pearls of wisdom that I've learned from my master and teachers that will be helpful as internal resources. I'll also be interviewing other therapists who are on this spiritual path together to share their experiences of how they practice wisdom and compassion in their daily lives. I want to let you know that you're not alone. You are part of a bigger community who aspire for greater soul alignment, growth, and awakening. That we can strike a balance of juggling our busy modern life as therapists with a clear mind and an open heart. I hope to inspire more practitioners to explore deeper spiritual meaning and purpose on our path to enlightenment. I'm your host, Po Gan, a psychologist, a Buddhist practitioner, a parent of 2 children, a fellow human being with a busy mind, but with a great inspired vision for collective awakening. Let's begin. Hi, welcome to the pod. Today, I wanted to explore the benefits of Dharma friendships and why I am building a Dharma-oriented community for therapists. When we talk about Dharma friendship, some tradition translate it as spiritual friend, admirable friend, or good and wise companion. In Chinese, in my tradition, we call 法侣 or 同修, people that we practice Buddha Dharma and cultivate together like friends. We have this Dharma affinity to practice together in the same community. A Dharma friend is someone who practices in the same way and shares the same aspiration and see our innate potential to become Buddha. And someone who listens deeply without judgment, someone who walks beside us, encouraging ethical living, actions, clarity, practicing compassion and wisdom. So I've been practicing in a Buddhist community, the Australia Buddhist Bliss Culture Mission, for almost 22 years. There's a large group of practitioners there who are just like me, people who have benefited from the Buddha Dharma shared by my master and who aspire to emulate the bodhisattva spirits and carry out the vows and carry on this bodhisattva path for our own awakening and also for the benefits of all sentient beings. So when I think about the benefits of Dharma friendships, I think of them. The people that I have fortunately practicing and growing together since we were young. I think some of these benefits are not something that you can purely receive by reading Dharma books by yourself and listening to the podcast, but more that you are connected to these group of people who share the same aspirations. When we see other people, our Dharma companions, progressing in their cultivation, it naturally inspires us to practice the same way. We support each other. If someone experiences difficulties or hardships, we naturally jump in and support each other, and we work together to support the community and supporting each other. In some way, it is like we are mirrors to each other when we are showing kindness, compassion, and sincerity. When we interact with each other, we're supporting each other. I think the key is that it has very similar understanding and very similar passion towards awakening. There's a saying in Chinese that the wish to practice arises for the first time. It's like a little sprout. There's a seed that plants into your soul consciousness that it is like a little bodhi sprout, 菩提苗. When we first started, and that intention needs care because it's very small and fragile. And it needs nourishment so that it can grow stronger, right? And a community of practitioners with guidance from the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, from our Dharma teachers, it is like a nursery. It provides the water, sunlight, and nutrients, all the conditions for our heart to grow, for that intention to grow and actually practice. For me, my community and my teacher have nourished this intention, this sincere intention for the last 2 decades. They've kept me anchored on this path towards awakening, and this really matters to me. So there are times in those 22 years where my practice was steady and diligent and I maintained my awareness, didn't get swept away by the stories in my mind or slack off. But there were also times that I deviated from the path, got sidetracked and distracted by life in general, by the emotions that blinded me, or the habits and the conditioning. But often it was through sharing with the Dharma friends or speaking with my master that I found my way back. I wanted to share this part about Sakyamuni Buddha. For what we see, or in the Western context, people usually understand that Sakyamuni became a Buddha this lifetime and become enlightened suddenly in this one lifetime. But in actual fact, there were actually countless causal conditions in the past lives that made this moment possible. He has cultivated immense merits and compassion, and through his actions and words benefited other people and giving, and cultivated this steadiness and stillness in the past lives as a bodhisattva practitioner So in many sutras, the Buddha actually described and told stories about his past life as a bodhisattva practitioner. These eons of lifetime of cultivation and practice. And I think this is important to know that it doesn't happen just over time. And it is a long process and journey. It is the process. It is not a theory that you understand and then boom, you got this. But it is more of through your experience in your daily life and your diligent practice that things becomes possible, that we can become awakened. A bodhisattva practitioner, just like before Sakyamuni Buddha attained perfect supreme enlightenment, he was an unenlightened being just like us. But he had this intention to wanting to practice. And once he became awakened, he started this practice of bodhisattva practices and become a bodhisattva practitioner, someone who is awakened but aspires to awaken other beings for the benefits of all. So it is similar to us that now we are unenlightened and we have learned all of these teachings and we realize that, oh, actually I could be like the Buddha if I put in the practice. And so once you have tasted that freedom where you are loosening that grip of the mind, where you can see through your own suffering and how you relate to your thoughts and feelings, that there could be a way out where we don't have to be the slaves of all our thoughts and feelings and our inner critique, right? So it becomes very natural that we're so passionate about it and that we wanted to share that with other people. I think this wanting to share with other people, it is not stemming from, oh, I want you to share the same religion as me. No, this is beyond religion and that has nothing to do with religion. But it is that share humanity and that share interconnectedness that I know that if I share that same spiritual essence and that you have the same spiritual essence and that innate Buddha nature, that all of us will have this capacity to become awakened. And I am kind of like wanting to share that with you so that you know how you have the key to unlock your own capacity and your own potential so that you can manage your suffering, right? So even though we are not fully awakened yet, we can still learn from and emulate the actions of a bodhisattva, the practice of a bodhisattva. And for me, this really resonates with me because I don't want to just become liberated myself, but I care about all beings. I think this is a really distinct understanding that I'm not praying to the Buddha. I'm actually inspired by his actions and his words that I wanted to learn from him. And I wanted to be like him. And he said that we all can be like him. Okay? But when we start practicing, when we are still learning how to practice and how to maintain this awareness, it is really important to have Dharma friends and community alongside us to support us because it is incredibly easy to fall into the illusion. When we first practice, our habitual tendencies and our conditioning are strong. Our attachment to this I and me and while clinging to our possessions are strong. And there will be times where we cannot see very clearly. So when we are surrounded by Dharma companions who understand our values and share our values and aspiration, they can support us, they can offer a hand, they can gently remind us of the path, they can sit with us through the confusion, through the misperceptions and the emotional pain. If it took Buddha eons of lifetime to awaken, it makes sense that we also need that much time to practice and become enlightened. And it means that if we are supporting each other, motivating each other, that it is possible and makes this path easier, right? And as modern practitioners, when we're trying to integrate Dharma into our everyday life, where we get swept by our emotions and get overwhelmed by the inner critique or simply burnt out, that's where in the community, the Dharma companions, we support each other and helping us to return back to our original intention to practice and to nurture these with the conditions to make it possible to continue to stay on the path, and that belief that, yes, we can become enlightened or we can awake ourselves. And it is similar to how psychologists need peer supervision. Buddhist practitioners, we practice together, we support each other. In some way, we say that we are relational beings. In the relationships, we learn from each other, we regulate each other, we offer steady presence, and we practice and reflect together. This all will reduce the overwhelm and protect us from isolation, from confusion and discouragement. Because it is very easy to fall away, isn't it? And our practice will be more embodied and more grounded. It is like when you have a candle that lights the room, the brightness is limited, but when there are hundreds of candles that got lit up together, then that brightness is even more and can cover the whole room, and it will lit up the whole room. And everyone will then share that benefits. And I've been thinking a lot about this, that a lot of the therapists don't have access to a community like this. Not everyone have a local Buddhist center like me. And not everyone has people around that understand both the therapeutic world and also the intention, the Dharma practices. And a lot of practitioners work in private practice and rural areas or telehealth, where we hold a lot, but we don't have a space and time that we receive the same kind of steady, nourishing support. So all therapists need spaces like these that they can continue to cultivate these heart practices, that they can continue to stay open, continue to stay connected and grounded in their heart, where they feel seen, accompanied, and held with the same compassion that they extend to other people. And really, the geography where you are at shouldn't be a barrier for us to practice and feel that sense of belonging and that care for each other. So the idea of online Dharma companionship, Dharma community, will then allow us to practice together, reflect together, and support each other in real time. So you can be anywhere, but you are still part of this community that nourishes you and your wisdom life. While online practice doesn't really replace the traditional community, the Buddhist temple, but I guess it is an extension version of that allows our cultivation to continue no matter where we are. So in a helping professional, and it is very easy for us to fall into feeling isolated because a lot of the things that our clients tell us, we have to keep in confidentiality. We are at risk of that occupational health and safety that we are easily burn out if we're not careful. And this supportive community hopes to complement that and provide that sustainable practice so that we all can continue to progress and make a difference in the world, whatever version you continue to practice with dependent on your values. I think all of us choose therapists or helping professions because we wanted to make a difference in people's life. And I think it is complementing each other when we really understand our mind and understand suffering and the antidote to suffering and how we can practice towards that. So like deep conversations like this about life, about meaning, about spirituality and the purpose of our short existence in this human world on earth, these values-based conversations nourish me. And sometimes small talk drain my energy, but I can have all of these conversations with my Dharma friends who gets me, right? I may not be able to have these conversations with friends that I know from kids' school, but yeah, if you have been craving a community like this, the one that helps you to feel anchored and stay connected to your spiritual practice, your way of life, your values. And this is what I have been envisioning for the Bodhi Inner Path Circle. This is that safe, grounded space for therapists and health practitioners who want to embody that wisdom, compassion more deeply in work and in life. And I think Buddhism has so much to offer. It is so much more than the way sometimes it is being deduced into mindfulness practice, therapy models, and techniques. But there's so much more. But even in acceptance and commitment therapy, all the trainers often say you must practice it yourself in order to do it well, right? So in order to stay true to this process-based therapy, to embody this present moment awareness and openness, we have to practice. So if you want to walk the talk and come practice with me, experience what it is like to really taste the benefits of Dharma friendships, of the Dharma itself, because we're going to go deep. I truly believe the world will become a better place when more bodhisattva practitioners embody the enlightened wisdom and compassion without burning themselves out. The more we surround ourselves with wise, sincere, compassionate people who share the same aspirations as us, the more our own innate wisdom and compassion can unfold. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a Dharma circle like this who support you throughout your life journey. As we close our practice for today, I want to thank you for sharing this time. If this episode resonated with you, the most meaningful way to support the podcast is to share it. Share it with a colleague or leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps our community to reach other people who need it. Until next time, keep your heart open, keep your mind clear and steady. Go be your amazing self as you awaken yourself and others. See you next time. Just a gentle reminder that our conversation today is for inspiration and education only. It is not a substitute for therapy or clinical supervision, and our time together doesn't constitute a therapeutic relationship.